There's a kind of victory most people never recognize, the kind that happens in silence. No applause, no spotlight, just you. Pushing forward when no one sees, enduring storms with no umbrella, holding the line when it would be easier to fold. This video is for the man who keeps moving even when it feels like nothing's changing. The one who wakes up to battles no one claps for, who's building something the world doesn't understand yet. This is for you. Because real winners don't always look like winners. Sometimes they look like the man who's getting up again. Sometimes they look like silence, routine, and discipline. But make no mistake, every day you don't quit, you win. Before we dive in, take a moment to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below to support this message. Let's build a space where silent strength is seen and respected. 1. The hidden war of persistence. In the beginning, winning doesn't look like winning. It looks like resistance. Like the early mornings when you drag yourself out of bed with no energy. The nights where your thoughts won't let you sleep. It looks like saying no to distraction, to comfort, to temporary highs. It looks like holding yourself back from reacting because you're focused on responding with power. The Bible tells us in Luke 5:16, "But Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed." He didn't advertise his strength, he refined it in silence. And that's the first sign you're winning, when you no longer need validation to stay committed. Winning isn't about noise, it's about consistency. It's about showing up on the days you don't feel seen. When your name isn't being praised, when your progress is slow, but your fire is still burning. Stoicism teaches this same truth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one," and that's what you're doing every time you stay focused in private. You're not chasing recognition, you're building resilience, you're pushing through self-doubt, you're carrying weights that no one sees. And that silence, that's not emptiness, that's sacred ground. Your silence is your training ground. Your discipline is your weapon, and your perseverance is your proof. You might not see the fruits yet, you might not hear applause, but every step forward is stacking, quietly, steadily, unshakably. Comment below, victory is built in silence. Let the world know you're winning, even if they can't see it yet. 2. The power of quiet discipline. There's a kind of man who doesn't announce his transformation. He doesn't post every move. He doesn't beg for recognition. He just changes. And one day, the world looks up and realizes he's not the same. That man is you. Your growth isn't supposed to be loud. In fact, some of the most powerful evolution happens in solitude. In Proverbs 17:27, it says, "The one who has knowledge uses words with restraint, and whoever has understanding is even-tempered." Discipline and silence walk hand in hand, and when you master both, you become dangerous. See, the reason silence is so powerful is because it gives you back control. Noise pulls you outward, silence pulls you inward, and a man who can rule his inner world can never be conquered from the outside. That's why most people can't handle silence, because in silence, they meet themselves, they face the weight of their choices, the echo of their habits, but not you. You use silence like a sword to cut through confusion, to confront your demons, to sharpen your vision. In Stoicism, Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." That's what you're doing when you stop chasing applause and start chasing alignment. You're taking your power back. You're not addicted to being seen. You're obsessed with becoming solid. You're building a foundation so strong that when storms come, and they will, you won't be shaken. You'll be prepared. You win by training in silence so that when the moment calls you to speak, move, or rise, you're already ready, because you've already won the fight in your mind. So if people question your distance, let them. If they mock your routine, let them. You're not here to be understood. You're here to be undeniable. Let your results be your voice. Let your peace be your power. Let your consistency be the thing that shakes the room without making a sound. Comment below. Let discipline do the talking. Let the world wonder. Let them underestimate. But you keep building in silence. 3. The hidden battle that builds the man. Some battles are never seen by the world. No applause, no audience, no recognition, just a man behind closed doors, fighting his own demons. That's you. You wake up tired, but you move anyway. You carry weights no one asks about and still show up. You're doubted, dismissed, misunderstood, but you keep going. That is victory. Don't mistake the lack of noise for a lack of progress. In the book of Matthew 6:6, Jesus said, "But when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you." Understand this. Your reward isn't tied to attention, it's tied to alignment. And right now, you're aligning with something eternal, something sacred. The world celebrates noise, but heaven rewards discipline. You're not just resisting temptation, you're learning self-mastery. You're not just sacrificing comfort, you're training for greatness. The unseen hours, the early mornings, the lonely nights, the hard decisions. That's where real men are made. And here's the truth. When you don't quit, even though everything in you wants to, you're winning. Every day you choose focus over chaos. Every day you say no to things that don't serve your mission. Every day you give your future more weight than your feelings. You are becoming unshakable. In Meditations, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Your pain is not a punishment, it's the path. So don't envy the man who's loud with nothing to back it. Be the man whose silence carries weight. You're not here for claps, you're here for crowns. The crown of self-respect, the crown of consistency, the crown of knowing that you never let life break you. You might not see the results today, but the seeds are planted, and God doesn't ignore the silent labor of the faithful. Comment below, "I rise with no applause," because you're not chasing noise, you're chasing depth. And that kind of man can never lose. 4. The silent crown of the unbreakable man. One day, the world will see what you've become. Not because you shouted, but because you stood. You didn't scream for attention, you didn't beg for recognition. You built quietly, you endured privately. And now you walk like a man who's been through fire, because you have. Let me tell you something eternal. Even Jesus, King of Kings, rose in silence. No parades, no headlines. Just an empty tomb and a shaken earth. He was mocked, betrayed, crucified. But he didn't respond with rage. He responded with purpose. Because real power doesn't perform, it prevails. You're not here to be loud. You're here to be legendary, and legends aren't born through praise. They are forged in pressure. You've learned to let go of what's outside your control. You've mastered the art of emotional discipline. You've chosen growth over comfort. You've stopped trying to be understood by people not meant to walk your path. That's Stoicism. That's scripture. That's manhood. Proverbs 25:28 says, "Like a city whose walls are broken through is a man who lacks self-control." But you are fortified. You've built walls of wisdom, gates of discernment, foundations of faith. You don't react, you respond. You don't chase, you attract. You don't collapse, you adapt. You are no longer a man who seeks validation. You are a man who embodies truth. Your silence speaks louder than noise. Your discipline cuts deeper than drama. And now, as you stand in the quiet of your own strength, you finally see it. You were never losing. You were learning. You were never falling behind. You were being prepared. Every setback was a setup. Every delay was divine. Every lonely night was a seed of legacy taking root. You walk into rooms differently now, not with arrogance, but with a presence that doesn't need to be explained. That's what silent victories do. They build an unshakable presence. And now your mission is not just to win, but to teach others how. So let this be your new declaration. Comment below, "Peace is my power," because you've learned something rare. You don't need to announce your strength, you just need to hold it. Let them wonder how you did it. Let them talk while you build. Let them doubt while you rise. You don't see it yet, but you're winning every single day. You don't quit. Stay grounded, stay quiet, stay undefeated.